Hi, I'm Michael Smith for Nevada Trails. Tonight, a very special show. I got Rick Parr, the general manager of the Reno Aces, and tell you, sir, last year I called you in at the end of the season because you needed a Nevada Trails lift, and I called my shot. We sent the fans to Sacramento, and we won 4 out of 5 to win.
Oh, we won a Pacific Coast League Conference championship. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Listen, I've told many people this, but I never in my wildest dreams would I ever think that we could beat Sacramento in Sacramento 4 out of 5 games when it counts. I mean, listen, it's hard enough just during the regular season. And, we feel good when we survive those things. And I'm talking to everybody from Sacramento here. I just want you to know you got one heck of a club. They're great people out there. And I love the rivalry because it's real and it was passionate. And we won on the final night to go to the playoffs. And it was big. I mean, our team was stoked and they were ready to play. And it was great. We won by 1 run in the 11th inning. So I don't know what, you can't do any better than that.
Baseball is back, and I said to myself last year that the team just needed a little Nevada Trails luck because when I had them on late in the season at one time, they won the World Series.
Oh, the national championship.
You were here late in the season.
That's correct.
And early in the season, and I forget the reason I brought you in late in the season. It wasn't because you needed a rally, just because I enjoy yourself and the Reno Aces. This time, though, I called you in because we needed some Nevada Trails people. We asked the audience to go to Sacramento and root for our home team. They did. We won the conference.
Yeah, won the conference championship, and we were only 1 game away from playing for the whole ball of wax. And again, we won it in 2012. The pennant behind me shows that the Reno Aces national championships in 2012. I would have loved to have won it last year because, I'm not. It's interesting because what is it for me? I mean, I'm not playing the game, but I think it's more about, a championship ring. I've got 2 at AAA. I guess I've got 3 at AA, and I'd like to have 3 for AAA. And I'm not trying to get greedy, but it's like, man, these rings are cool. I mean, they really are. I'm surprised I didn't wear it today.
Greed is good.
But it's just kind of something that people like to see. Well, and we can brag about it a little bit, but honestly, it's great for the players, great for the manager. It's just kind of great for what we call the legacy of the Reno Aces, and I want to make that as the best we can.
Well, the Reno Aces is a class organization from top to bottom. I was honored to go to a game last year, and I was going there for a charity benefit. But what came out of it was something different than I expected. I planned on promoting the charity, but what happened was I really had time to sit down and watch the crowd. I'm a people watcher besides the game, and I saw so many father-daughter combinations. Just the kids didn't have their cell phone. They were really just into the game. They were yelling, and they were just into it. And then I was also watching couples. They had time to talk, and it was just it brought back baseball into a different perspective of that I hadn't really had a chance to pay attention to. And I had my lovely wife there too.
Yes.
And we had plenty of time to talk. And in our crazy lives, it seems like the phone's always ringing.
Well, see, you mentioned something that I think is extremely valuable. The reason I'm in the business, and a lot of people say, well, why did you get into baseball? Number one, I had an opportunity, but number 2 is I always felt that, everybody has a purpose in life, and so part of mine was, I guess if I wasn't in baseball, I'd probably work for Disney. Because I think it's a quality of life situation. And why do I think it's a quality of life? A lot of people ask me, well, why is baseball quality of life? Well, because, listen, my son and daughter and my lovely wife, we can go to the game. It's Julie. And when we go to the game, we enjoy a time just for ourselves. And listen, I'm working, and I just stop in about every other inning, and we get to talk to the kids. The kids get to spend time with us. But if you ask them what is their favorite thing to do, they'll tell you go to the baseball game, and they won't mention Disney. But it's okay if they did, because I would think that would be a status symbol for us. But you know what? We are an outlet for families and kids and moms and dads and aunts and uncles. And the best thing about it is quality of life. If you have a relative you don't like, and I'm looking right in the camera right now, everybody's got a relative they do not like, right? And so it's like, invite them to a game. That way you don't even have to talk to them. And they think you're special after the game. And God, we never had so much fun in our lives. We're going to come back and visit you once again. So it's kind of funny. You laugh about it, but it's true.
Oh, no, I was thinking that I know people here that send their relatives that visit out of town to go around Tahoe because they know they'll be gone for a long time. If you're probably nicer, you might want to send them to an Aces game because they'll be gone for a very nice, pleasant afternoon, and probably they'll probably have more fun because that's just driving around. It's not that much fun compared to a ball game. And when Deb and I went, I guess we were just cute people because we both bought bottomless popcorn.
Oh, yeah, that's a big deal.
We could probably share that bottomless popcorn because the family of 4 next to us was doing the same thing.
Yeah, oh, yeah. It's so popular. We've got bottomless sodas and popcorn. And you know, honestly, you go, well, this is a little higher priced. And you go, yeah, but if you didn't buy it and you bought individuals, there's no way. There's no price comparison on that at all. So do me a favor and buy it and share it with the whole family.
And I'll tell you, that game was something special, too. It was 15-11.
Oh, my.
It was just one of those games that you just had fun because the ball was just going out. It was just an action-packed game. And you get the pitchers' duels.
Sure you do.
But back to present day.
Sure.
How is the team looking? What's your gut?
You know, we'll know in about another week. They will break camp by this coming Saturday, and then all of a sudden, we have an exhibition game with the Wolfpack on Tuesday the 7th, and it'll be a 6:05 start time, and we do it twilight, special start, because you got to remember some of these players, they never see an evening game, so their eyes are positioned for day games. And when they come in and we play the first game at night, there's quite a bit of a difference for the hitter to hit.
I never thought that.
And even to field the ball, but your eyes have to adjust from that intense white light in Arizona. You got to remember they're in Scottsdale, Arizona during spring training, and so when they come out here, it's not that intense white, bright light. It's more of for us, a spring type of a light. And even when and you're playing a game at night, it's difficult for them to see the ball for the very first time.
Well, speaking about things of changes, does your schedule have anything to do with the East at all? Are you out there at all?
No, it doesn't. We're starting Friday, April 17th this year.
There's some really weird weather going on in the East.
Oh,
I don't know if you had any travel games
no.
I'm glad you're just in the West for the season.
We're going to play Albuquerque right out of the chute. Albuquerque has no issues at this point in time, and when we get back, we're going to play Albuquerque again because they will come into town. So we'll have 8 straight days of great baseball, and with the weather the way it looks now, you don't know, but all I can tell you is you're going to get stretches of weather. So if we hit the 10-day stretch, then we're going to have a fabulous opening day and opening week. It's going to be fun.
So you're going to have a 10-day homestand?
We'll have an 8-day homestand.
That's
so Friday to Friday. Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
A lot of times we have 4-day homestands. Those are my favorite because it gives you a break in between.
Yeah.
But you know what? I can handle 8 straight days. And when it's Friday to Friday, I think those are great times because you get a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, which I like, and another Thursday and Friday on the other side. Flip side, it works really, really well. I expect that we could even maybe break some attendance numbers.
Well, I think so too. The place with the weather being so cooperative, and it's a beautiful park, only 23 rows, so you can see from every spot.
You remember that, don't you?
No,
yes, you
I
do.
remember it 100% because my wife is in heaven. Yesterday I watched the show where we did a tour with Nancy Sizemore, and I zoomed in from across the way. We're on the other side, we're waiting for Mr. Baseball to take me out the ball game. And I zoomed across, and there she was on the rail, a smile ear to ear. She was watching the game, and then that was a hot inning. Remember, we were waiting for the 7th
yes.
inning? We ended up doing like 4 more locations because the inning wasn't going to end. It was like, but I tell you, that's heaven, is that she can see, and she's become a baseball fan, and we're planning on attending a lot of games this year.
Well, see, that comes to mind a couple other things. Even if you can, see a little. Let's just say that. And we have people that can't see come to the park. And you know what they come for? They come for the excitement of the crowd. Okay, the smell of the popcorn and other goods, and I mean, the aromas that are happening, the chanting and cheering and the excitement, it's like they can see the ball game. It's amazing.
Well, we went to the ball game last year. You were waiting for me at the fence, and I got to that opening, and I said, I didn't see you because I couldn't. I B-rolled
Sure.
it right to the seats because it's like this beautiful picture with the smell of the popcorn and the hot dogs and the food and the concessions and the sounds of the ball game, and it was just. And then the green field opens up like this beautiful panoramic of love, and I just tell you, you can't beat a ballpark. And I tell you, give out your contact information real quick because we're going to take a
Sure.
short break.
Always, if you want any information, RenoAces.com. Don't even worry about the telephone number. Just go online. All of that information, phone number, who you contact, buying tickets, whatever you want to know, that's got it.
And root for your home team, and we'll be back after a short break. Thank you.
Put your hands up. Forever in the air, they will be stuck. I call this from the sleeper, cause there's no muscle in your body that you can flex. Break it down. I want you to wiggle around. Get up from your chairs. Let's shake this ground. Climb to the top of Mount Everest. Burning hot, we're in the mist. Every piece of our skin will be completely drenched. Now put your hands to your side. I'd like you to close your eyes. I'll make this beat fly as your soul rise. Left foot, right foot. I could say absolutely anything, and you would probably like it. Mr. and Mrs. Sexy, covered in my pyrotechnics. You will have to catch me if you want to taste. No relation to hexes, I'm more infectious. You cannot match this, it will go to waste. The venom is soaking, now you feel smooth. You want to get funky, then follow the groove. Now everyone put your hands out, like you want a sensation. Feel like you found your every temptation. In relation, these vibrations seem to let it flow like I'm on vacation. With nowhere I need to go, I can take you around and around this world. Burning bright, whoa, heads on fire. Wonder if the flames can grow any higher. The empire shows signs and dire situations where we must eat the entire thing, which makes us alive. Everyone is finally right, reaching out from the stars. I'm right here. Let's get with it, everybody. The lights are on and the floor is rumbling. Don't you like the way I rock it? I could even from home. The late still flock to this like their hearts are glued to it. There is so much, there is a purpose. There are gifts and there are curses. Who is last and who is first? Doesn't really matter to this verse. Rhythmic and hypnotically, hope it's gone to death and birth. The strings unraveling, it's psychotic. I keep on eating automatically. The best rambling from a god. And oh yes, check, please. Such a keys on the floor, you will not need them anymore. Once we open every door, don't you know this is Pandora's box that wouldn't burn the first time we go outside of all these lines. No more chains and no more ties. We give a toast because we're alive. Will you come with me as we go deeper? Swinging the night away while you're asleep. Flying through your temptations, you're a dreamer. The sensation will always linger. The flick of my wrist, I can say king me. It looks like we're playing checkers, so you need to pour me a drink. This game is mine for the taking. Money, power, and fame can be a useful thing. Now everyone, I want you to take the place. Move your hands up and down like you're swimming in space. No matter what you do, you are free. Follow the groove, it's what you need to get up and move. I like to tease, we're the last of a dying breed. This room is changing in every direction that I look. I can see you inside, you're growing in my soul. And I felt it in your eyes, like I've been here before. And the bells of the golden age have rung. We're alive, and I know this is only just begun.
Hi, I'm Michael Smith for Nevada Trails. I have Rick Parr, the general manager of the Reno Aces here, and tell you, we're just talking about childhood stories of our expertise of baseball, and it's all good. It just brings back memories, and his opening day looms. And I've got my baseball socks on like usual, but you don't have to see it. It's just part of my season. But we were all flashing back as when we were kids, and my little flashback was when I was in Little League, second base, and Justin was shortstop, and he wasn't playing the same team. It was just in Michigan. But we were next to a cemetery. And every time there was a funeral, a lot of times the funerals were on weekends, so we'd all take off our caps, and we were very respectful of. We were being taught manners as a kid, of a serious thing, of the hearse going by with all the cars, and so I kind of started doing rules of not only the game, teamwork, respect for others. It just brought in all these things, and when we were talking on the phone the other day, you had mentioned that the Reno Aces are involved with tours that are doing some things of helping young people, children, realize what baseball has to do with the slice of life. And tell you, like Phil in the Dreams, he does say a lot about slice of life, and I tell you, it's dead on. And I imagine in your world, you get a lot of that too.
We do. We did the trial run of the tours with the chamber, and because we're going to implement this in the school systems. And I just kind of wanted to know how it would go, because this is a 2.5-hour tour. So the secret is, how can you keep the kids activated and intrigued by what you're doing, and be educational at the same time? That's a very difficult thing to do with 2.5-hour stretch.
It's a lot.
So we broke it down into 12-minute segments, and there is no segment that's longer than 12 minutes. And they asked me, well, why do you keep moving us? And I said, I didn't have the heart to tell them it's all about circulation in the brain, but that's what it is. It's keeping the blood flow going, and then all of a sudden you're much more attentive. And it was fun, it was informative, and in part of it we say we want you to do your part, and we spell it out, PART, which is practice makes perfect, the greatest attitude in the world. R is for respect. You respect everything, everybody, and everybody's space. And the last one is, if you do your part as a regular individual, then the team will benefit by what you do. And so it's always about a team effort, because when it's a collaborative effort and you put it together and you have a lot of teammates that do well, you can win the big one. And that's what this whole thing is about. And we talk about things like that. That's not all, but that's a lot of what we talk about.
Well, a lot of baseball has to do with you get out what you put into it too. Practice.
Sure.
Not only with your fellow ball club, but I remember playing by myself with a tennis ball off the side of the wall, just getting in. Just
how many reps?
How many reps? And tell you that one time the ball drops, it's a big deal. So if you're helping your teammates out and practicing, and then it all just. Sometimes it really does gel. And we won some championships when I was in grade school. It's still a big deal to even my mind.
It is, but how do you win a championship? Everybody says, well, when you guys won it in 2012, were you guys the best team? And I go, we didn't have the best individual players, but we were by far the best team. I knew we were going to win that game. And everybody goes, well, how did you know? And I said, I knew once we got to the championship game, I knew we'd win it because we had individual players that played well as a team. And by then, it was obvious who was going to win the game. Now, maybe not by the other team, but I will tell you this. We played so well as a team, there was nobody that was going to beat us. And that's the excitement. You win as a team.
Well, I agree. I remember just the first time I ever saw a catcher back up a first baseman, or another outfielder back up another outfielder. And then you start thinking about fundamentals as a young person.
Yes.
And how many times that one little thing saved a game or saved a run or kept a player on second rather than third. And the little things in baseball are really important in life. And that's you kind of learn that a little thing can domino into something big if you're not careful.
It is. You know what usually strikes a person out? Most people don't know this, but it's not the fastball, and a lot of times it's not the curveball. What strikes more players out than any type of pitch in the world is, that changeup. It's a change of pace. And if you can get the ball over, he swings about 2 or 3 times because it's coming by so slow that he's ready for a fastball or a hard slider. And then all of a sudden you throw that change up, and oh my goodness, they can't adjust. And it's one of the most perfect pitches in baseball if you can get it over the plate. But the secret is, can you get it over?
Well, I tell you, there's some players that have been doing the knuckleball and all these weird things that you never know. But like I said, it is a change of pace. But did you ever paint a mural downstairs for the batting cage?
No, we didn't.
I keep on
not yet.
Someday you'll paint a mural of the ball field down at the batting cage, and their senses will say they'll hit the ball. I've been campaigning because we have a mural artist in this community that's really top notch. But also, you do a lot of things for charity, as we mentioned in the past. Sure. What type of organizations are you going to help out in the first, I don't know, couple of home things?
Well, it's not so much that as we do auction items for people that want to raise money.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
And we raise a lot of money. I mean, they'll pay big dollars for what we call an experience at the ballpark, like throwing out the first pitch, make it like let's make it an all-star package, and they get hats, they come out and they stand with a team on the sideline as we do the national anthem. They throw out the first pitch. It might be their birthday. We sing happy birthday to them. Plus, we'll even let them do a half inning with the radio play-by-play.
Awesome.
And it's unique stuff like this that you can't do as a person, that if you buy a ticket, you're not going to be able to do that. But with a cool auction item like that, I mean, how much will you pay? Some people pay $2,500. Some people pay $1,000. Whatever it seems to be worth it, and we select a particular game, and you'd get 8 tickets to that game. So, I mean, there's value in this package. It's just that you will never get to do this without putting, some money down. And so the charity gets all the money. We don't. But you know what? That's some of the ways that we build up some of these charitable organizations. And a lot of times it's like we did the Wolfpack benefit. And man, our packages were going for, $3,000-$4,000. And now we're able to give them $6,000 or $7,000 just by doing an experience. But we're going to do the exhibition game on the 7th, which we hope to put another $15,000 with that. Now, I mean, all of a sudden, wow, you can add that up. You're into the late 20s there, and maybe even $30,000 if you're lucky. So we're trying to do those type of things in this community, like food bank. We do a food drive.
I was just going to say the food bank. You said something about last year. The players' wives are involved, and I went to the Josh Moreau traumatic brain injury thing last year. But I hate to change the subject because I know you guys do so many things to help people. But
sure,
I just had a curiosity. What's happening with the slowdown, or not slowdown, the speed up of baseball? Is that affecting you guys at all?
No, I don't. I think it's a good thing. What it is what Michael's talking about is a clock that will be on the scoreboard, and it's a time for the pace of the game to continue. Now, what slows the game down is a batter that steps out of the batter's box, and then you'll see him do, I got to adjust my gloves and got to adjust my hat and my uniform, and then all of a sudden I step up and I go for it again.
Yeah.
But if you do that on every pitch, I mean, good night. Our games are now about 3 hours and 10 minutes. Now, you may not think that's a long time, but I personally think anything over 3 hours is too long. And what would I really like? I'd like about a 2 hour and 50-minute game. Now, what they're trying, and that's an average, okay, for all of baseball. They don't want it to go any longer than 2 hours and 50 minutes. Every minute after that seems to be too long. And so what they're trying to do is they're trying to speed up the clock. And so people say, well, what happens if they go over the time limit? Well, it's either the batter's fault or the pitcher's fault. If it's a pitcher's fault, then it's a ball.
Wow.
They just count it as a ball. If it's a batter's fault, it's a strike, and he can strike him out. I think it's brilliant. I don't know whoever thought of it. I've been complaining about this since I was in AA ball, when we used to have scores of 31-29. And I'm going, this game is way too long. We've got to do it in order to keep the pace of the game. So, because kids at 7 years old can't make it through a whole game. They fall asleep, and the furthest they can go is about the 7th inning. So that's one of the changes you're going to see this year. They did it in the fall. Great success. And they're even playing with it a little bit at the spring training camps.
Awesome.
And so now it's ready for the AAA guys to do it, and then Major League will do it next year.
Well, that's why I was asking, because the game I went to was a long game. And I was so proud of the dads bringing their daughters, having a dad-daughter thing. But some of the kids were being carried out at the end of the game because they were tired.
I carry my own.
But also, as far as a quick segue, we got 2 minutes left. I wanted to talk briefly about your daughter Lizzie and her gymnastics.
Yeah, she just went through a gymnastics meet to qualify for regional or regionals, and just like everybody, there's always one event that you can't really do, and that's the bars. But she's very good at vault. So what happened was she scored on the floor and also the beam. She's about medium, and then all of a sudden she hit the floor at about almost a 9.4. Well, 9.4 plus will win it. But now she's got to do the bars, so it's a last deal, right? Oh my goodness, I was so concerned. I just told her, don't scratch, Lizzie, just hang in there. And what was the simple part I told you? I said, just hang like a monkey, baby. That's all you got to do for just a few seconds here. And you know what? She did, and she qualified, and she was so happy, and she was struggling with the bars. So, even though she had a struggle with it, she kind of overcame it. I was very proud of her.
Well, I was talking about, I'm so proud of the father-daughters going to the game, and then we got talking about his daughter, and I thought, that's just perfect thing in life. Bring your daughter to the game and enjoy it, and give out your contact real quick.
RenoAces.com. RenoAces.com. And don't forget, the very first game we have is Friday, April 17th, and it'll be a 6:30 start. And if you can come to the exhibition game, that's on Tuesday the 7th, April 7th. Hope we can see you there.
Well, Rick, thanks for being on Nevada Trails.
Absolute pleasure.
Go root for the home team, and this time Sacramento doesn't have a chance again. I'm calling my shot again. This year, Sacramento, root for your home team, Reno Aces. Thank you very much.